Rabbi Beryl Wine points out the phenomenon that Sara'as, the response, the physical response to Lashon Hara, the evil speech and the like, comes on three levels. It affects the human body, it affects one's clothing potentially, and it even affects one's home. And as Rabbi Taki mentioned, although it seems that it never actually happened, that one got Sarat on the home, nonetheless, the Torah described that it is a feasible opportunity. It is possible for it to happen. And Rabbi Wine explains that these three elements, these three different areas in which Saras can affect are the three foundational elements of the physical world. Because we have, of course, the most basic, which is the human body. We have our own physical bodies in which any level of functioning needs to be in good health and in good shape to be able to have a productive life, that we need to have. Our bodies need to be taken care of. Secondly, clothing. Clothing represents how we present ourselves to the world. It represents, especially today, a sense of personality, it represents who we are and how we present ourselves, in addition to the necessity to maintain modesty. And thirdly, it affects our homes, which are, of course, our dwelling place on this world. The way in which anyone who walks by our home sees our home, the way in which we shelter ourselves and also present ourselves to the world. And so all three of these areas of human functioning, the human body, the physical body, the clothing, which clothes the body and presents ourselves as people to the world, and our place of shelter in this world, the home, all can be affected by this plague of tsaras. How does one get it? Well, one gets it when one's soul, when one's neshama is not in tune. When one uses and abuses the power of speech, when one speaks lashon hara, when one slanders about another individual, one's soul is disturbed. And what the Torah is teaching us is that you can have any level of health, of physical prosperity. You can have the most beautiful clothing, you can have the most beautiful home. But the Torah is teaching us that if our soul is not aligned, if our real purpose, if our level, if our sensitivity, if our speech is not in tune with the desire of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, then all of that can be impacted, and that causes a blemish on all of our physical success, on all of our ability to prosper, whether it's our physical health, whether it's our clothing, how we present to others, that blemish will appear. And whether that is our own home, our place of shelter in this world, will recognize that, look, if your neshama is not aligned, that will impact your ability to succeed in this world as well. And so it's a message that we take to remind ourselves that regardless of how we present to the world, regardless of how in shape we are, or how well dressed we are, regardless of how huge, how beautiful our home is, all of those things are wonderful, beautiful things to enjoy on this world. But we have to remember that while doing all of that, we have to be sure that our neshama, our soul, is in tune, and that we are taking the messages, the timeless messages of the Torah, and integrating it into our lives to make our homes the most beautiful place, both physically and spiritually as well.